Imagine you have spent your entire life studying. You know philosophy, medicine, law, and theology. And yet you still feel as though you understand nothing at all. That is exactly how Heinrich Faust feels, but all his knowledge does not make him happy. In his study, he despairs at the limits of the human mind. He wants to understand what holds the world together at its deepest level. When books and science fail to give him an answer, he turns to magic. Faust summons the earth spirit, but instead of proving himself superior, he is rejected. The spirit dismisses him. Deeply humiliated, Faust no longer sees any meaning in his life. He decides to drink poison. At the last moment, however, he hears the Easter bells. Memories of his childhood stop him. Meanwhile, a wager takes place in heaven. Mephisto, the devil, claims that he can lead Faust away from the right path. God allows him to tempt Faust. For a person who is searching may go astray and still continue to grow. Faust first encounters Mephisto in the form of a black poodle. The dog follows him home and transforms into the devil. Mephisto promises Faust a life filled with pleasure, experience, and distraction. Faust accepts, but sets one crucial condition. If he should ever say to a single moment that it should remain forever because it is perfect, then Mephisto will have won. Faust signs away his soul. The contract is signed in blood. Mephisto first takes Faust to Auerbach's cellar. Students drink and celebrate there, but their shallow amusement bores Faust. Mephisto then brings him to a witch's kitchen. A magic potion makes Faust younger and awakens his sensual desire. In the street, Faust sees the young Margareta, known as Gretchen. She is modest, devout, and innocent. Faust is fascinated by her at once. With Mephisto's help, he has expensive jewelry hidden in her room. Gretchen finds the gifts, but her mother gives them to the church. Mephisto obtains more jewelry and uses Gretchen's neighbor Mart to arrange a meeting between Faust and Gretchen. Gretchen falls in love with Faust. She asks him what he believes about religion. Faust answers evasively. He speaks of feeling, nature, and an all-encompassing force, but avoids making a clear declaration of faith. Gretchen also senses that there is something threatening about Mephisto. So that Faust can visit Gretchen undisturbed, he gives her a sleeping potion for her mother. But the dose is too strong. Gretchen's mother dies. Gretchen becomes pregnant by Faust and is plunged into a social catastrophe. As an unmarried young woman, she is excluded and publicly shamed. Her brother Valentin also learns about the relationship. He confronts Faust. During the fight, Mephisto helps Faust mortally wound Valentin. As he dies, Valentin insults his sister before the gathered neighbors and declares that her honor has been destroyed. Faust flees with Mephisto and is taken to the Brocken during Walpurgis night. There, witches, spirits, and fantastic creatures celebrate in a wild festival. Mephisto tries to distract Faust with intoxication and sensual pleasure. But Faust sees a pale apparition that reminds him of Gretchen. He now learns the truth. In her despair, Gretchen has killed her newborn child and is imprisoned in a dungeon. She is to be executed. Faust blames Mephisto, but Mephisto reminds him that Faust himself also made choices. At night, Faust enters the prison and tries to free Gretchen. At first, she barely recognizes him, Then she remembers their love. Even so, she refuses to escape. She is confused, tormented by guilt, and afraid of Mephisto. In the end, she surrenders herself to God's judgment. Mephisto cries, "She is condemned." But a voice from above answers, "She is saved." Faust is forced to flee with Mephisto, while Gretchen remains behind. Goethe's Faust Part 1 is therefore not merely the story of a pact with the devil. The work is about limitless human striving, responsibility, and the danger of using other people for one's own desires. Faust wants to experience everything and cross every boundary. But while searching for knowledge and fulfillment, he destroys Gretchen's life. Mephisto tempts and manipulates him, but he does not take away Faust's freedom to choose. Gretchen, by contrast, becomes guilty, but remains capable of recognizing her guilt. Her salvation shows that moral transformation and repentance may matter more than society's judgment. The central question is therefore this: how far may a person go in order to experience life to the fullest? Goethe's answer is not simple. Striving is part of being human, but anyone who seeks only personal fulfillment and ignores the consequences for others can turn the desire for freedom into a tragedy.